Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com, and yes, that's me in the image. Alright, let me give you a little bit about me. I am a certified NLP Trainer, Master Hypnotherapist of Ericksonian Hypnosis. I'm a Master Practitioner of Timeline Therapy, Reiki, Huna, Pranic Healing, and also Neuroassociative Conditioning. I also studied psychology at Arizona State and Chico State. So the new discoveries that I made, you will not learn these anywhere, and I mean anywhere. These are powerful, these are much faster, smoother, and easier to understand women, get along with women, romance women, and seduce women. But it's not the male way, it's the female way, it's the right brain way. This is what women consider romance. This is the proper form of romantic seduction that women wish men knew how to do. It's a hidden art, literally. You also will not learn this from pickup artists or dating and relationship coaches or Tony Robbins or anyone like that at all. They're all teaching left brain techniques. I'm teaching the right brain way because her mating system is connected to her right brain. Here's the really cool thing. When you learn how to communicate in the right brain way, all of a sudden you'll notice women relax around you. Women will engage in conversation. Women will open up to you and they will want to talk to you. And here's what happens. Your anxiety over a period of interactions with women begins to dissipate, begins to go away, because you start to realize like, oh, wait a minute. When I used to speak like a male, left brain, linear, logical, that used to irritate the shit out of women. But because you're that way now, you're like, I don't know, I just think women are crazy. But when you go to the other side, speak the other language, all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's a completely radically different interaction with women. It changes everything. On top of that, I've been doing therapeutic techniques with people for over 30 years. I started studying psychology at 18 years old. I got involved with Tony Robbins training. I got certified and trained by Tony Robbins. Then I went on to advanced NLP training courses for 12 years. I also spoke at Hewlett-Packard 4 separate times. I also did communication coaching and also therapy with some of the executives at Hewlett-Packard. This was many, many years ago. I've been doing therapy with all kinds of people. So my point being is we have hypnosis, we have NLP, psychology, etc., timeline therapy, to where if an issue does come up, we can deal with it. All right, caveman, let's get right to it. Alright, so this video is going to be a quick video. I'm going to do a couple things. So number one, you need to grab a pen and a piece of paper. Yes, an actual pen, piece of paper. If you have a pencil, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be a pen, but you got to have something to write with. Alright, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. There are 3 separate techniques that will help you, to help your brain to go, oh, wait a minute, women are different. So watch this. So number one, men and women use 2 different processors to do everything from communication to thinking to romance to getting sexually turned on, etc. We are wired in the complete opposite way. For example, there's something that absolutely is romantic to women. It melts her heart and it opens her up to not only fall in love with you, but also to have sex with you. And when I say it, you're going to be like, why? That doesn't make sense at all. I'm going to tell you what it is, but you won't understand it until you take the course. When you take the course, learn how to do it, and then do it with women, you're going to go, wait a minute, women really, really love this. I'm like, yeah, I told you. But it's not, in a million years, you would never think this would do anything to do with falling in love, romance, and seduction. But it's everything to do with it. I'm telling you, women are different, and it's going to shock you how different they are. Alright, here it is. It's one word. Are you ready? Understanding. Women want to be understood so badly that it literally triggers her to fall in love and to make love with you and have sex with you. Okay, I'm going to do this real quick and then get to the techniques or get to the questions. So right now you're like, what do you mean understanding? What does it have? I'm telling you right now. I am telling you, if you truly, keyword truly, develop the ability to understand women, they'll be all over you. They will literally be like bees to honey. They're going to be all over you. They're going to want to cook for you. They're going to want to clean for you. They're going to massage you. They're going to make love to you. There's something they want so badly, but they don't get it because men are wired in the opposite way, and we do the opposite of what they want. And that's the point of this course. You want something. You want to be made love to. You want to be respected. You want a woman to admire you. If you can do these things, it triggers her mating system to automatically look up to you, to admire. You could literally be shorter than her. She will look up to you. She will brag to her friends like, you're not going to believe this, but he gets it. If you develop this and learn how to do this, you're going to be the unicorn that every woman talks about. And they're like, what do you mean unicorn? Yeah, in high school girlfriends talk about this. Women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. That girl that's 22 years old, like, my grandma said she met one of those guys one time when she was a teenager. That's how rare these unicorns are. A woman's destiny and journey is to find one of these. They heard about it. They heard that this one person who's 50 years older or 60 years older than her, she met one time. But ever since then, there's no sighting been made. Okay, I'm going to explain that a little bit more. You really won't understand it until you read my book, Cracked Female Code, and especially until you take the actual course. It's a minimum 10-session course, okay? So here's what I mean. She's talking about right brain processing, right brain understanding. It's literally the difference between the IBM computer, which is the left linear logical processor, versus the right Apple computer, which is the internal circular expansive processor. These are two different processors, literally. And here's what they do. They both give two radically different meanings and definitions to the same words. So when a woman says something out of her right brain, it's giving the right brain definitions, okay? What men do unconsciously, which is actually normal, they take the same words, they pull them over unconsciously, and they filter them through their logical processor, and thus they change the meaning to everything she just said. Every woman that I've said this to for 30 years is literally will say, this is the story of my life. And no matter how hard I try to get him to understand, I'm saying A and he keeps hearing B. And I'm like, yeah, and this is what men will say. Oh, you said this and this means that. And then she goes, no, I said this and this means that. And he's like, no, it doesn't. This means that. And there's this argument that goes on forever and ever. The problem is you are in the wrong processor to understand her. What did I say? You're in the wrong brain. For example, do you paint with your right brain or your left brain? You paint with your right brain. The right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. So this is the challenge between men and women. Men are stuck in the left brain, whereas women are left and right. The problem is there's a lot of things that you can't understand in the left brain. Like the left brain is like looking under a microscope. The right brain is like the opposite, like looking through a, I guess you'd call it a telescope that goes all the way out to outer space. Microscope goes into micro and telescope goes into macro. You have to shift over to the right side, otherwise you can't understand the bigger picture. And remember, as I said in all my videos, her mating system is in the lower reptilian or cave girl brain, and the nerve curves off to the right brain's processor, specifically to the key phrase right brain's communication center. So if you're speaking in the left brain external language and using the left brain processor, guess what you're doing? You're turning her off sexually. All right, pen and paper time. Here we go. Here's what I want you to do. Okay, I'm going to do 3 different ones. One is a physical thing you do with your pen or paper or pen or pencil. Here, I'm going to ask it, and here's the thing though. You have to do it right now, real fast. If you stop and think about it, that doesn't count. See, if you're going to lie to yourself, this is not going to help you. Are you ready? Stop this video if you haven't gotten a pen and paper yet. Are you ready? And you have to physically draw it, okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw an internal spiral. Ready? Go. Go, 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 go. You should be done already. Alright, here's the second one. Put the pen or pencil away, or put it down. I want you to point, okay? Are you ready? I'm going to ask you a question. Instantly point. It's got to be right away. If you hesitate, it doesn't count. You ready? I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to point. Ready? Where's God? Even if you don't look. Point, point, point. Okay, done. Alright, this is the third one. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to instantly answer it. Spit some words out. It could be one word, a phrase, or it can be like, you can have 2, 3 answers if you want. It doesn't have to be just like one. If you have 2 thoughts, that's fine. But you got to spit it out right away because then it'll come up naturally. Okay? Ready? What are words? Go. Words are this. Words are that. Just whatever comes up. Doesn't even need to make sense. What are words? Words are this. Words are that. Okay, write down what you said. Okay, I'm going to start with the first one. So with the spiral, I wanted to see where you started. So I want you to go and right now point to where you put the pen at right where you started, not at the end where you started. See, if I could see you, I could watch you do this and make sure you didn't cheat. If you cheat, you're cheating yourself big time. Just be honest with yourself. So where did you start? Most men, not most, so far it's been 100%. I've been doing this for about 30 years now. They start on the outside. Let's see. Most men, they start on the inside and they spiral outwards. So what I want you to do is put an arrow at the very end where you stopped. Usually that's on the outside of the spiral at the end. A woman, now I've watched women do this for 30 years. They start on the outside and they go spiral inwards, smaller and smaller, circular inside and inside till they can't make it anymore. And they put the tip of the arrow and a small tip on the inside of the circle. That's an inward spiral. You start out and you go internal. Okay? All we're doing is showing you the difference between how the left brain processes versus the right brain. This is how different men and women are. But when you learn how to process in the opposite way, it's a game changer for everything. If you're married, your wife is going to fall in love with you again. She's going to forget everything and all the arguing and fighting, and she's going to cling to you. Now the next one, where is God? Every man that I've worked with points outward. They instantly, boom, they point outside of their body, like they're pointing up or forward or left or right. They just point outward somewhere, okay? Every woman that I've done this to points inwards towards their heart. Interesting, isn't that? So women are internal beings, and this is a thing. See, men are like, what are you talking about internal? Because you don't value this. You value the left brain. You value external stuff. You value money. You value cars. You value work. You value all these external things like paying for dinner. That's external. Money is outside of your body. Food is outside of your body. Washing your car, waxing your car, getting chrome rims, cleaning, getting a nice haircut. These are all external left brain things. My ex-girlfriend used to go, oh, okay, so you're going to get one of your thingies, huh? And she kind of said it in a laughing, funny, but kind of a derogatory way because it irritated her because men are all about external. Women don't like that. Here's the deal. We're just different. And what I teach you in my course is how to do internal stuff to satisfy her mentally and emotionally so she'll fall in love with you and so she'll make love to you, because this is the way a woman does it. She can't do it the external way because she is physically an internal being, meaning her vagina goes inside. There's a hole that goes inside and enters inwards her body. The male penis is external. It goes outside of his body in a line. It's a linear object. I mean, unless you got a corkscrew for a penis like pigs do, but I've never heard of that. I just realized something. I haven't really made it really clear what we're doing here. This is pornographic to a woman. Now you're like, what are you talking about? How is this pornographic? Anything internal turns a woman on. And this is natural to her. The right brain, the internal brain, the what? The internal right brain. The external left brain. External turns her off. Internal turns her on. Now, right now, if you're like, internal what? Well, that's the point. There's a lot to this. It's not that easy to learn. But on the other hand, it's not that hard either. And I have a 10-session course which gets the bulk of it. You might have to take a couple follow-up sessions, but literally within 12, 14, 15 sessions, you're going to be so good at this, you're going to be able to turn women on like that. Number 1, women's awareness goes internal. This is called internal awareness. I'll teach you how to do this. Look at the picture. Look at the girl's eyes. I can look at her right now. She's internal. Her awareness goes inside her body and she's feeling her own vibe. She's in a very good emotional state right now. If you walk into the room with this internal awareness, all you do is drop your awareness down inside. You expand it, you ground it. Now, okay, not all, but it takes a little while to learn how to do it. Women will be attracted to you. The same reason why you're attracted to her. There's something about her. There's love, there's warmth. You just feel like you want to you want to cuddle with her. You want to hug this girl because there's something that feels good just by looking at her. That's the reason why you have feelings for a woman, because they're internal. Well, guess what? A woman does the same thing. See, love is an internal thing. It's not an external thing. Love is a right brain thing, even for you. You have a right brain, and this is where you experience emotions. So when women are in this space, or in what is called the emotional state, it causes you to feel the same thing. Now, teaching this to an external being, it is a challenge. I'm not even going to lie. It is. In the beginning, it's a challenge, but once you get it, it gets fun. It gets exciting. Because all of a sudden, you go outside and you don't do nothing. You don't approach a woman. You don't do an opener. You don't do a line. You don't do a pickup artist technique. None of that shit. None of it. And all of a sudden, women are walking up to you. They're opening conversations. They're saying, oh, that's a nice watch. They're just doing that because they're trying to start a conversation with you. Because when a man is internal and emotionally grounded, holy shit, women love that feeling. They love to be around that vibe. Number 2, there's something called the right brain internal language. This sexually turns a woman on. It also melts her heart and makes her fall in love with you. And guess what the left brain does? It irritates her, it pisses her off, and it disconnects her from her emotions, and thus she falls out of love with you, and you just put yourself in the friend zone. You just turned her off sexually. Now you're just a friend, to hang out with and to go do things for her, to fix her car, to change her oil, that kind of stuff. Not good. All right, so number 1 is the internal spiral. Number 2 is she points inward, whereas men point outwards. Now here's the third one. So the question I already asked, and you should have said it and or written it down, is what are words? Well, here's what happens. I had a guy who had 3 master's degrees, one from Berkeley, one from Stanford, and one from USC. And one of his master's degree was in communication. Left brain communication, not right brain. So here's what, his other master's degree was in psychology, and the third one was in architecture. So I had a girl here, she was about 27, 28, maybe 25. I think at the time I was 36 and he was about 51, 52. So I said, ready, go. What are words? She goes, well, words are words, and words are used to talk to someone. And this girl was looking at him like, what? She was really disappointed. Okay, so he goes, well, words are words. Words are used to talk to people. He goes, words are used to communicate. She was on the couch and she turned toward the table that we were at. She grabs her heart like she's protecting her emotions with both hands covering her heart. She goes, no, words are emotions. By the way, this guy just went through a second divorce and lost his second $5 million home. And that's why he was taking my course. Somebody had referred him. He wanted to know what he was doing wrong. And I said, you're relying on money. You're not giving her emotional fulfillment, right brain, internal communication. This satisfies a woman, and it makes her body feel good. I remember my ex-girlfriend said, well, money's nice, but that's not love. In fact, I heard that from her niece, and I heard it from another woman, and I've heard it on the Oprah Winfrey show. Well, money's nice, but that's not love. And that's what men don't understand. It's not love. Sure, they want it just like you want it, but that's not relationship. Emotions are what bond you. Emotions are the glue to a relationship, literally. So whenever you ask a man what are words, they give you a left brain logical external response. Well, words are words. Words you use to talk. Words you use to communicate. Words you use to get your point across. Even the word point, left brain, it's like you're coming like a tip of a V to the point. Women are at the other end. It's all about, see, tip, point is closed. Right brain is wide open at the other end of the V where it's wide open. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, how to be wide open and how to... See, here's the deal. If you're like, okay, just teach me the internal language words, it won't work. You have to do it from the other side. Wide open. Once you communicate from this space, I know it sounds weird, that's a right brain word, from this space. Well, what is that hooey fooey stuff? But to a woman, it makes her feel like what this woman feels in this image: soft, warm, love, sensual. And that leads a woman into the bedroom. But when your words, logical words like logical, point, get to the tip, get to the point of things. Well, what's your point? This just irritates them. It closes them off. It disconnects them from their emotions and thus turns them off from their mating system. That's why you want to learn how to be in the right brain. It makes logical sense, doesn't it? I'm serious. It really does, though. So, Mike, what you're saying is it's logical to be illogical. Well, if you want to get laid, if you want a woman to fall in love with you, yeah. The mistake that most men make, they use the word illogical. It's not illogical. It's a different form of logic. You use what's called, it's a very limited form of logic, by the way. Literally, it's a line. Take a pen and on a piece of paper, draw a straight line from bottom to top. That's the male language. First, second, third, fourth. You're going up and down the line. Before, after, then, later. But before that, if you back up 2, 3, you're going up and down, just like football, just like baseball. You're going up and down lines. And that's why they call it the linear, L-I-N-E, line, linear language. It's very boring. It doesn't turn anyone on. So when you say logic, what you really mean, even if you're not aware of it, you're talking about linear logic, left brain linear external logic, which is what math is, okay? But then as you go further in math and also in physics, you start to learn about non-linear math, which is circular math, which is the right brain. It's right brain math, literally. So now listen closely. When you get into the advanced courses in math and physics, you learn the right brain way because it's a lot harder. The left brain is essentially the building blocks, but it's not the mastery. The right brain is the circular, expansive form of logic, okay? It's highly intelligent. In fact, you'll never learn it 1st through 12th grade. You won't learn it in your bachelor's course. You'll only learn it once you get into advanced math or advanced physics because it is advanced. And the right brain is the advanced language. It describes things much more in depth. It's much more clear. It's much more complete. Just because you don't understand it, that does not mean that you're smart. It means that you're not smart because you can't understand it. Just like someone who's never taken trigonometry. Well, if you haven't gone past Algebra 1, you're not going to be able to do trigonometry. You won't understand it logically. Now, just because you don't understand how to do trigonometry logically, that doesn't mean you're the smart one in the room. It means the opposite. This is a smart course and it does take a level of dedication, but I promise you this, you will be the smart guy in the room from now on. If you want to learn more about this and take this much deeper level, buy my book, Cracked Female Code. Go to crackedfemalecode.com. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at Cracked Female Code. Please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and if you want, there's a PayPal donation link right there in the description box beneath the video. God bless you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.